right, welcome back to a Tuesday edition of One Bills Live. Chris Brown, Steve Tasker, and the Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas joining us in studio. Welcome back, Thurm. Did you have a good New Year's?
Oh, yeah, it was great. It was awesome, man.
Did you do anything fun? Did you go out? I mean, you
yeah, me and Patty, Ani, and Mary, my daughters, we went out. And
how soon after midnight did you hit the sack?
I was in bed by 3:30.
Oh, wow. You were tearing it up.
Yeah.
You did better than me. I was 12:05. Good night.
I was in bed at 10.
The following day, I was done all day. Yeah, I didn't do anything.
I was in bed at 10 o'clock.
Football on the couch.
Yeah, exactly.
We rang in the New Year on YouTube at like 8:30.
Yeah, they went on London time.
Went on to watch London do it, and that was it. It was good stuff.
Yeah, we hung out. Yeah.
All right, good for you.
Good for you.
So when you saw that this game got kicked to Sunday night, what was your reaction?
I got to wait all day.
You're still hanging over.
Give me 1 o'clock,
You're
man.
still struggling from New Year's,
exactly,
right? It's going to take you a week.
8:25 game.
Not wrong.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I know it's a special game, obviously, for the AFC East, but, give me a 1 o'clock or at least a 4 o'clock. 8:25 is a little bit too late
I
for
get
me
it.
now. I mean, and they've had it all year long.
Yeah.
We've had these type of games.
Yeah,
so,
last Sunday was the first 1 o'clock game for the Bills since week 7. And right back to prime time this week.
But
they love us, right?
But this
they
is
love us.
This is like an old fashioned one too. You can see it coming. You could see it coming like a month ago.
Right.
You know,
how if everything played out, how we go.
I mean, they got to lose to. You figure they lose to Baltimore. You know, the whole thing.
Nobody was expecting him to lose to Tennessee at home.
I'll say this: there was a lot of doubt here when you sit
that
here.
happened a few weeks ago.
When you're sitting here in these two seats, I'm not going to mention any name, but when you're sitting here in these two seats and you look out and you got the Jets, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Chargers, and the Patriots, and you kind of feel like you almost got to run the table.
Yeah. And they did.
It's hard to get to this Miami game and say, yeah, we got this, let's go. You know? But
yeah, their only loss is to the Eagles in overtime on the road in a driving rainstorm.
At a time when
thanks
they
to
were
a
the ones that
59-yard field goal at the end of regulation.
I didn't think he had a chance to make. I don't think nobody
might be the
thought
kick
he
of the
would.
year.
Could be.
In light of the
Yeah, I think
conditions
so.
and the distance. Might be the kick of the year.
Might be the kick of the year, but they
In
might
the
be,
entire league.
Yeah, but they might be one and done though. They're not playing well at all.
Yeah, they're
Think about
struggling
it,
right now.
that would have been like 5 losses in a row for them.
That could have been bad for them.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, fortunate that they got that one. Okay, so seeing what happened to Miami last week against a quarterback with somewhat of a similar skill set to that of Josh Allen, does that encourage you for the Bills this week?
absolutely it does. And you're talking about a guy who can probably throw it at least 30 or 40 yards farther than Lamar Jackson. And with his running ability and how he moves around the pocket, man, yeah, he's more dangerous, I think, than Lamar, even though Lamar had a great game last week and pretty much he's had a solid year. The numbers are a little low, but
they're off his MVP year, but they're winning games. They're winning games,
and that's what matters.
And after a game like that late in the season, when they're the 1 seed and they lock up the 1 seed, it's hard to give the
most
MVP
people
to
felt
anybody.
he put the MVP trophy in his bag.
Now, if
after that game.
it is the Dolphins, so if Josh comes out and has a game like he did the first matchup, he might get a couple votes.
Well, that was a perfect passer rating in week 4 for Josh.
He might get a couple votes, but I don't think he's going to wrench it away from Lamar, although they'd be the 2 seed too.
I know. Can you imagine? All this
that
that has
far away,
happened throughout
bro,
this
Steve.
entire schedule right here. We have an opportunity to be the 2 seed.
After
Now-
being 6-6.
which means you're hosting at least 2 playoff games, provided you keep winning.
Provided you keep winning, AFC Championship would be in Baltimore if everything
He
goes
might-
well.
yeah.
If everything goes
if
according
everything
to
goes
seed.
well, I mean, they could possibly have the AFC Championship game here.
I will remind everyone that in 2018, when Lamar won the MVP, the Ravens went 14-2. They were the number 1 seed, and they got upended by Tennessee in the divisional round and got bounced from the playoffs unceremoniously.
Yeah, but I can't name one wide receiver on that team.
On the Ravens team from 18?
I can name one on this one. Yeah, Odell's playing really well, and Bateman is too.
Yeah, and the tight
Flowers.
end,
Flowers.
likely. right?
Yeah, Likely's been a nice
who's been a
replacement
nice
for Andrews.
For Andrews, yeah. So I mean, he's proven
Flowers.
that if you give him some weapons, he can have an MVP year.
Yes.
Now you look at the past couple of years, he hasn't had all those wide receivers, and then his rushing numbers are up.
Yeah.
His rushing numbers are actually down now.
Well, they made investments in receiver.
Yeah.
They drafted Likely. They drafted Rashad Bateman in the first round. This last year, they drafted Zay Flowers in the first round, and they signed Beckham to a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And you see the difference. Now, they've had some misses, too. You know, Hollywood Brown didn't pan out there. I think he was a second-round pick, if I remember right. And Bateman's had injuries in his first couple of years and didn't do a whole lot until now. But, yeah, and I think the MVP of that organization is Todd Monken, the new OC, who came in from Georgia, where he won back-to-back national titles. He goes to Baltimore and sets that offensive system up, and, man, they look like a machine.
Well, I think when you get Todd, you have to change your offense. I mean, he's coming from Georgia. I mean, they got wide receivers and big bodies all
they
up
got
front.
5 stars all over the place.
Right, exactly. And so and you know what? The running game ain't bad at all either. I mean, you talk about what's his name? Matthews, was it? Is it Matthews?
You talking about the Ravens?
The
here,
Ravens, yeah.
So you got Justice Hill back there, and
Oklahoma State. Yep.
I see. I get it now. Yeah, okay.
He was big in the passing game this
Yeah,
past
and
week.
the guy, God, I can't think of these guys' name now. Law, the wide receiver, Oklahoma State.
No.
We got 2 guys there.
All right.
We got 2 guys there.
That's fair.
That's fair. But yeah, he's having a great season. So, but I tell you what, their defense, that's the key. They've been able to. We talk about a physical defense that play physical from first quarter to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they like to beat
That's
you
how
up.
That's how they beat San Francisco.
Yeah,
That's
they're
how
a bully defense.
They're a bully defense,
They're
and they
bully.
will let you know that too.
Yeah, in fact, I was watching their film, and you know, like when they got a guy stood up, everybody got stood up. Think about this little detail. You'll know exactly what I mean. So you got this guy stood up, and nobody's going to hit the ground. They blow it dead, right? They got the guy. It was one of those push things where they got
Forward
Baltimore
forward progress
always
stuff.
stops pushing last.
Right.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they got there's 19 of the 22 guys pushing against each other, and they blow the whistle. Everybody stops pushing. Well, one team will stop pushing, the other team just keeps pushing.
That's
until
Baltimore.
they always push you back further. It's always stuff like that. It's always like the extra shove out of bounds. It's the extra hit out of bounds. And I'll say this too. One of the strategies that they have always used under John Harbaugh. Say, for instance, you get into a game where, like at the end of a half, where gotta have it, last play, whatever. If you got the ball, you're going to try and score. You're on the 4-yard line going in. Even goal-to-go situations, even at any point, you're not scoring on them.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because they'll pull you down by the face mask. They don't care.
They'll dare the official
They'll dare
to
the
throw
official
the flag.
to throw the flag.
They're like, you're not
They
going to
have
throw it on
always-
every play,
Right.
so I'm just going to keep grabbing this guy.
They're going to get tired of throwing the flag. That's their. They'll give you first and goal on the 1. Go ahead. We're gonna. You ain't
Hold for
scoring.
the next 3
They're
plays.
gonna-
They're going to
Dare
hold you
to
the
throw
next
it
3
again.
plays. We'll face
you know
mask
what?
you, and they just don't. They won't.
They don't care.
They don't care.
That's why they had probably one of the best leaders ever in Ray Lewis.
Oh, Ray.
and Ed
That was
Reed
Ray.
playing on their football
That's
team.
right.
That is what, when you look at the 2 Super Bowls that they've won, it's been their defense that has really came through in both of those Super Bowls.
And it's a solid strategy, no question about it.
It is a solid
And
one.
Concerning though, let's get back on Bills-Dolphins here. Concerning this game, we've been asking our callers this today. What do you think, Thurm, should be the emphasis on offense this week against this Dolphins defense?
Well, considering that they have so many injuries, I mean, they just lost Phillips. I mean, if I'm cooking offensive line,
Lost
I'm ready to
Chubb.
cook.
Yeah.
I'm ready to cook right now. Whoever's replacing Chubb, look out, because we're coming right at you right now. Whoever
Okay.
that guy may
I
be.
kind of agree.
It might be Melvin Ingram. Might be
He's
Melvin
pretty
Ingram.
solid, though.
Yeah.
He's pretty
He gives-
solid
he's
veteran.
given Deion
I know the
problems.
last time we were here, we was with Chargers, right?
He's given
Played the
Deion and
Chargers?
Spencer
He's a little
problems.
long
He's
in
a
the
handful.
tooth.
Yeah, he's a handful. But I think Deion's playing well.
Yes, he is.
He's
So
playing
is
very,
Spencer.
very well. Yeah. So, I wouldn't worry about that. But, yeah, I'm attacking these guys. I know we want. Josh has had an unbelievable career so far against the Dolphins in his short 6 or 7 years. I don't even know how long he's been in the league
Right.
because he got so many.
Bills have won
freaking
9 of the
highlights.
last 10 against
9 of the
Miami.
last 10. Hey, you got to make it 10 of the last 11. I mean, the playoff starts at 8:25.
We were
You might
talking-
argue it started a month ago.
A month ago,
was
yeah, it
talking
could.
to-
You
for
know,
this team.
we've
For this
moved
team.
it. We've moved it back almost
we moved
every
the line
week.
back.
This is a game that they have to win. So yeah,
We,
I'm looking for them to come out and hey, look, they're getting a little bit healthier.
Yeah,
Love to
especially
see-
on defense.
Yeah.
especially on defense, and and when you look at this stretch of games or whatever, their defense have been the one that's been carrying them.
Closed out the Chiefs game.
Closed out the
Closed
Chiefs,
out
yeah.
the Chargers game.
Yeah, and this is not something where teams are scoring. It's
New
been less
England
than
game
20,
dominated.
21 points.
dominated the New England game. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this defense is playing as many as injuries that we've had, and they're getting healthy right now. I mean, man, what was a great sight to see the other day when I saw a picture of Matt Milano in the locker room smiling. I'm like, you know what? We missed that guy right there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
missed
yeah.
that guy right there. But they have kept it together as a football team, especially on the defensive side.
I will say this too before we go to break here. That you're talking about how the Bills should attack this defense in Miami. We were talking to some of the guys in Miami, and Christian Wilkins and Zach Seiler. They go the 3-4 defense, and Raekwon Davis down inside. They stay on the field a long time. They stay a lot. They don't rotate those guys out like the Bills do. So
Up-tempo?
up tempo and run right at them a lot. If you can get first downs and run at them and just wear them out, get them down into their depth. And I hate to say it, but run the ball.
Yeah. I mean,
this
it
may be
makes
one of
Herman
those
doesn't mind you
games.
saying that.
It'll make
Yeah.
a difference if it's
Yeah.
2nd and 5 or 2nd and 6. It would make a huge difference.
That was one of the problems they had last week. They couldn't stay on schedule on offense here
Right.
against the Patriots. They, first down, the line gets blown up. Cooks dropped for a 2-yard loss. Now it's 2nd and 12, and then they're coming after you. They're getting exotic with their blitz packages, and it's like, oh, hey,
and it seemed like in a way that we weren't prepared for it either. I'm not saying
Well,
that
they had a good plan.
They had a good plan. It's Bill Belichick,
Yeah.
right? He had a good plan. I mean,
well, and you play into his hands when it's 2nd and 12, 3rd and 9. And
well,
they
it
were in those
limits
a lot.
it limits what we had to do.
Well, right.
I think in a couple of times, 2nd and 12, we were throwing screen passes to Stephon Diggs, and I mean that wasn't going anywhere.
The early drops really hurt the Bills' offensive ability to stay on the
Three
field.
drops
and they got
on
off to a
third
slow
down.
start because of it. But then later on, they were catching it and they were converting third downs. Shakir had one. Davis
he had more than one
Yeah,
on third down.
they had a bunch of them. So Kincaid had one. Knox had. So they had a bunch of guys converting third downs, and it kind of got back on track after that. But slow start, I thought it was because of the drops. But we'll see. I mean, they got a fast start would really go a long way in this game.
Really long way.
Yep. Any concerns whatsoever about what Miami can put out there on the field? We know they're injury riddled. Waddle may or may not play. Don't know what Mostert's condition is. We know Chubb is out for the season. No Jalen Phillips. No Xavier Howard in all likelihood either. Any concerns about this Dolphins team in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I think they're still a little bit concerned about what they can do on offense. I mean, they still got Tyreek Hill, right?
Number 1 scoring team in the league.
Number 1 scoring team in the league, and that hasn't changed at all. I mean, you got a coach over there who likes to do a lot of things that
He's a
nobody's
good schemer,
ever
right?
seen
He's
before.
creative, yeah.
He's very creative. So I mean, I wouldn't put it past anything. Being the last game of the season, up for the division title, I think they've already clinched, right? They will.
they're
be
in.
They're in the play. It's just a
They're
matter
in.
of
Win,
And
second seed,
lose.
lose 6, and at Kansas City, round
and
1.
that Kansas. Yeah, so they got a lot to play for too.
I think they're
So,
going to be desperate even though they're injured.
yeah, even
Like,
though they're
They're
injured.
going to be a desperate team. They know how important it is to host the playoff game rather than go on the road at Arrowhead.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at their veteran players, Jalen Ramsey, Wilkinson. I mean, Wilkins. Those guys. Those are probably the 2 guys that you're looking at right now. That's probably going to be, leading the forefront of getting these guys energy and getting these guys up and getting the crowd into the game. I mean, like you said, they're wounded right now. They're wounded right now.
But you know what happens sometimes when you back a team into
Back
a
in
corner
team
like
with Wall, exactly. And they're at home, so they played fairly well, I think, this year at home.
that. They're 7-2 at home.
7-2
or
at
7-1 at home.
7-1 at home. So yeah, but look, I think there's so much at stake right now for the Bills that they're going to be ready. I do believe that they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready for anything. I think Sean McDermott is at that point now where, hey, anything is possible right now, especially going into the last game of the season. They want to knock us out. have an opportunity to knock us out, and they want to
Yeah.
have an opportunity to win that second
Yeah,
seed.
their only loss at home was to the Titans by 1 point, 28-27.
that was the game nobody thought they would lose.
Right.
Got beat by a rookie quarterback who was inspired.
Yeah.
Even though the Titans tried really hard to give him the
give it away.
game.
We tried to give it back to them. Yeah.
2 turnovers in the 20 inside the 20-yard line in the second half. Up 6 and watched it turn into a 13-point deficit with 3 minutes left, and the Dolphins still lost the game to the Titans.
And we're hoping the Titans can win this weekend.
Yeah, we're hoping
We have
the
That would
Titans
help
win.
beat
That
the
would
Jaguars.
Jaguars. We have no shot at that. No way.
Yeah, I don't
We'll
know.
have to see if Trevor Lawrence plays.
Yeah, where is it?
He's
It's in
supposed to-
day to
Jacksonville.
day.
He's going to play.
It's in Jacksonville or in Tennessee.
I'll have to check. I don't remember where the game's at, but I think Lawrence
It's
will gut it out and play.
Yeah,
Or at least try to play.
It's in Tennessee.
in Tennessee.
It's in Tennessee.
Realistic chance that they can win that game.
Yeah.
Tennessee, right?
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. 3 days.
I'll tell
yeah,
you,
5
they,
days before
they
the
found
game
their
fight,
quarterback
sure
of the
they can
future.
win.
Will Levis is.
I
pretty
like
good.
him.
I like him too.
I think
like
he's going to
him.
be their. I mean, they know they have their guy now.
He's got a live arm. He's getting better every
Athletic.
week. He's athletic.
Yeah.
He's big dude too. He's a rip.
Fiery.
Yeah, he's one of those dudes. So I kind of like him. I haven't seen him play a lot because they're not on our schedules, and I haven't been had to check him out. But yeah, liked him a lot.
Where is it? Kentucky?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Kentucky, right?
Yeah, It was
Yeah.
their first round pick. And
Yeah.
he's got an arm, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm glad that he's taken over. So sick and
Or
tired.
second
of
round pick. Sorry.
So sick and
Tannehill.
tired of Tannehill.
Tannehill's got to be like my age.
60. I mean,
Right?
I mean, a little
That was
bit
the big
younger than
story
me.
in the draft. He's there with his girlfriend in the green room in Kansas City, and it was just
Was he really? I don't
he-
remember.
he had a day not unlike you, Thurm, on draft day, expecting to go in round 1.
Didn't
The only
make it.
difference was he's sitting on national television in front of everybody with his girlfriend next to him. At least you got to enjoy it in the comfort of your own home,
No,
right?
I was on ESPN.
Well, that's right. You were on national
You were
television
home. I
too.
was
That is
a-
right.
Yeah, I
That
was.
is right.
Yeah, I was one
But
of the
hey,
first
if that,
guys.
if
I was
that
like,
didn't happen, would you have had the career you had? I don't know.
no, I
PO'd
looked at
your
it
whole
like,
career.
Hey, ESPN was like, "Do you want us to leave?" I said, "Nope. You guys stay right here with me."
You're gonna wait
It
until I
was,
get picked.
Andrea Kramer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. She
There
was
you
at
go.
the house, and
that's right. It was on national television.
Yep. Oh yeah, I remember it very well.
Yeah, so that we're looking at some highlights of the Tennessee-Miami game in Miami, where Tennessee did beat them.
Yep.
That's
By
the only
1 point.
only loss they've taken in that stadium this year. So they play good down there.
They do.
play
They
good
play
down there.
good.
It's going to be a night game as well. It's going to be good weather.
There's gonna be.
all of
I
that.
think there's gonna be a lot of Bills fans.
Oh,
there,
sure.
too. I mean, so
These are the
I
old,
know.
it's the old
I know
days,
of
man.
5 people already just in my neighborhood that are going to that game.
I know about.
Forget
20.
about
Yeah.
all of Western
Right.
New York.
I got
They're all in
Not to
Florida.
mention the transplants that live down there
I got-
already.
I got ticket prices coming across my timeline. You can go for this much. I'm like,
So the Bills should feel really comfortable.
Some of the prime seats are going for like $800 a seat,
Oh, yeah.
which for Miami is high.
Yeah.
Like, because Miami fans kind of blow
Well,
with the wind,
Dolphin
whichever way the
the
wind's
Dolphin
blowing.
players could walk out there and look in the stadium and be like, they don't believe in us. Our own fans.
maybe.
I think they'll be desperate. I do, because they know how important it will be to be at home for playoff games. They'll be fighting to win the game.
Yeah, sure they will.
Yeah.
I give them that. I'm taking 17's taking over.
Okay.
17's taking over. 17, 14,
You know,
and 4.
I-
That's it. They're taking over.
We said this as well. It's, the game they just had against Baltimore, where Baltimore lumped them up pretty good, and we said it at the beginning of the other segment. Bills are kind of built like Baltimore. They got that quarterback who's the centerpiece. He can
Second
do a lot of
reaction
things.
player.
His second reaction, off the cuff stuff, his big arm, and playmakers around him. Strong on the ground, like the Bills have, proven they are in the last month. It's the same kind of matchup for Miami, and Josh is Josh is 10-2 against these guys, and the 2 losses was
10-2.
his rookie season when Charles Clay dropped that ball off his face mask on the last
goal
play of the
line.
game on the goal line. He's 2 yards deep in the end zone,
Yeah.
and then the Heat game,
The sauna game.
The
Yeah,
sauna game.
That's what I call it. The sauna
week
game.
3. So those are the only 2 losses Josh has
Where they
against
ran
the
out of
team.
time.
Wow.
When they ran out of time.
Wow.
Yeah, they match up bad against Josh. So did Baltimore. The same kind of thing.
bad
We'll
matchup.
see.
So at this point right now, we can say the rivalry is back. I think it's back because back in the
Dolphins
day,
are a good team.
it was just Buffalo
They're a good
and Miami. It wasn't New England and the Jets. It was just
Right.
the Bills and Miami
Yeah.
until Tom Brady
But
came and
I will say, much like the New England thing, like Bills fans called New England their rival, but people in New England laughed at that. They're like, we've won the last 15 in a row. This isn't a rivalry.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
called a stomping.
Right.
Now, the
Your
Bills have won
homecoming
9
game.
of the last 10.
yeah.
Can we call that a rivalry?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Well,
Dolphins are a good team.
Yeah, they're a good team.
it is
yeah.
a rivalry because a game means something.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
And it's the division, and you played once, and there's
Yeah.
I
right.
think
We
it
got
is a
two.
rivalry.
We got two top quarterbacks like Marino and Kelly.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
All right, I can live with that. That's fine. Enjoy the game, Thurman. Safe
Thank you,
travels.
sir.
You're going down, right?
No, not going.
you're
down.
not going down, Miami?
Nope, not going down.
All right.
Nope, be at home watching it.
All right.
Be at home
Yeah.
watching it.
Then you're
It's
probably
the
better.
best place.
You're
That's
probably
the
better
best
off.
place.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
It's gonna be 8 o'clock. I want to be able to go to my
No
bed.
kidding, right?
How did Patty keep you out till 3:30 then? That's what I want to know.
I don't
He's talking-
know.
Man.
That was something else. All right, we got to take a break. Thurm, thanks for coming in. Enjoy the game on Sunday.
All right, Thurm.
Catch up with you next week.